Good afternoon, and welcome to the 800 Credit Score Man Show. I am your host, Kevin King. He is I, and I am him, the 800 Credit Score Man himself. And again, thank each and every one of you for coming in and listening to the 800 Credit Score Man Show every Saturday. That's every Saturday at 1:30 Central Standard Time, 2:30 East Coast Time. Thank you again for coming in and listening. So I always say that knowledge is power, but that's just not enough. You can only get true power, in my estimation, you can only get true power by implementing that knowledge. You've got to do something with it. So you got to take the knowledge that you have gained and you've got to apply it somewhere. So I'm trying to give you guys every Saturday for half an hour the opportunity to take the knowledge that I'm imparting to you and use it for your benefit. Using it for your benefit to increase your credit scores. And what do I always say? Increasing your credit scores will lower your interest rates, and when you lower your interest rates, you save more money. The Fed has said already that interest rates are going to go up this year, so we know that that is going to happen. So when interest rates go up, it costs everybody more to buy things, purchase things that you want. And if you're buying a big ticket item like a mortgage, every little piece of interest rate counts. So you want to make sure that you get the highest credit score you can so you can get the lowest interest rate that you can. And again, save yourself some money. So that's the whole point and purpose of the 800 Credit Score Man Show. So thank you again for tuning in. Now, you can also, of course, catch the 800 Credit Score Man Show on demand at your leisure, in your car, wherever you are, on several different formats. So I'm going to encourage you to utilize those formats throughout the week at your leisure, whenever you feel like it. If you miss the show on Saturdays at 1:30 Central Standard Time, then you can catch it on demand on Stitcher, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, on Google Play, and you can even catch it on YouTube. Now, you can't see me on YouTube, but you can absolutely listen to the show on YouTube as well. So what are we going to talk about today? So let me tell you this first. On today's show, we are going to, of course, go through the topic that I've picked out for today. And then we're going to have, of course, the question of the day as well. And toward the end of the show, I'm going to take a point of personal privilege and give you guys a little ditty about one of the family members of the 800 Credit Score Man Show. So I encourage you to stay tuned for the end of the show today for sure. Please stay tuned and listen to this. It is very important to me, and I would really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about why all of a sudden it seems that all of these companies are offering you a free FICO score. Why are they doing it? It seems like it came out of the blue. It used to be so hard to actually get your FICO score. Now, I know a lot of us, including myself, utilize, say, Credit Karma or Credit Sesame or any of those kinds of sites. Those are educational scores. They aren't your actual FICO score. So they should be relatively close to what your FICO score is. But FICO is basically the holy basically the holy grail of your credit scores. So that's the place where you want to get the most official, the most accurate place is with a FICO score. So this sudden ability for companies to offer you your free FICO score actually is an effort by FICO themselves. So FICO stands for the Fair Isaacs Corporation, created way back in 1950s by a couple of gentlemen, and they're still in business today, publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange. So you can always even buy, some stock in FICO if you would like. So what they've decided to do is to allow access to consumers in an effort to increase transparency and consumer empowerment. Now, consumer empowerment to me talks about knowledge. It speaks to knowledge. So they're helping us with our knowledge about the credit scoring system and where we fall, and they're helping us with that. So FICO calls it the FICO Score Open Access. And so they've allowed companies, credit card companies, and banks to go ahead and give you your free credit score. So I'm talking credit score and not your credit report, but they've allowed them to do that. So now you see companies like Discover and Chase and First Midwest, etc., offering its customers, and in some cases, like Discover. So Discover will offer the FICO score to anyone. You don't have to be a card holder of Discover. Anyone can call Discover up or go to www.discover.com and you can get your FICO score through them, and they swear they will not sell your information. So Discover will offer it to anyone. But if you're a member or you have a card with First Midwest or Bank of America or Chase or someone of that nature, then they are offering free FICO scores as well. And that's all through FICO themselves. So that's why it's popped up so much lately that you're able to do that. Now, here's why I say FICO is like the Holy Grail. That's the place where you want to go and you want to get it. The reason I say that is because 90 to 95% of all lenders use the FICO scoring system. So therefore, there is absolutely no better place to get your score than through FICO. That's going to be the most accurate for you. So like I said, when you use a Credit Karma or a Credit Sesame or Quizzle or any one of those other sites, you'll get a score, and it's relatively accurate, but it's not the one score to get. Now, let me caution you, because even within FICO, your scores will be different. Now, you would say, why is my score different if it's the same company that's supplying it? Why is it different? Well, FICO has what I call buckets. I don't know what they call it, but maybe they just call it different scoring models. But I call them buckets. So they have all of these different buckets, and so everyone has a different score within those buckets. So one of the buckets would be a mortgage bucket. So you have a mortgage bucket. So if you're going to apply for a mortgage and a mortgage company, a mortgage lender uses the mortgage specific bucket for pulling credit reports, you're going to get one score there. You may have a different score, a totally different score when it comes to auto industry. So the auto industry has their own bucket. So when you go and you apply for a vehicle, you want to finance it, then you may have a different score. And I'm pretty sure I shared this with you before. My credit score through FICO, I want to believe that I got my FICO score through one of my credit cards, and it said it was 811. So my score was 811 there. When I went and purchased a vehicle, and my auto score, the bank that financed my vehicle, gave me the auto score, it was at 795. So there is a difference in there. Now, I'm not necessarily worried about, a 10, 15, 16 point difference when it comes to that. And one of the reasons, if you've been listening to the 800 Credit Score Man show on a weekly basis, one of the reasons is this. A score of 750, sometimes 740 in some cases, some 760 in some cases, and above, because the scoring range will go up to 850, you're going to get the exact same interest rate as anyone with a 750 to an 849. You're going to get the exact same interest rate as everyone else because you're considered in the excellent range. It could make a difference for people that are barely into the good or barely into the fair range. It could make a difference for you on where you sit in regards to an interest rate that you'll receive on your particular purchase. So it could be important, but oftentimes it's not that big a fluctuation. So make sure that if you're going to get a score, and this is the one you're going to count on, if you're going to go ahead and apply for a mortgage anytime soon, within the next 3-6 months or so, then you want to get your FICO score. When these people give you your FICO score, it should not affect your credit score at all. So we talk about inquiries a lot. A lot of the times we talk about inquiries and how they reduce your credit score, and you don't want to have too many on your credit report. This will not be showing up on your credit report as an inquiry. It will not lower your interest. It will not lower your credit score at all by having them give you your free FICO score. So that's some information that I thought you might need to know. Now, where do you want to get your credit report from? We talk about it often. You can get your credit report, of course, for free at www.experian.com. www.annualcreditreport.com. You can get your credit report there. Again, that's www.annualcreditreport.com. You can get all three credit bureaus right there, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, once on a 12-month rolling basis. I've mentioned before that some states allow you to get more than just one on a 12-month rolling basis. For instance, Georgia, they allow 3 during that month, during that year. So if you are in the state of Georgia, you can get 3. Of course, if you go and you apply somewhere and you get turned down, if you get turned down for credit somewhere, anywhere, furniture store, or if you get trying to get a credit card or what have you, if you get turned down anywhere, they'll send you a letter saying that you're turned down. They'll list a couple of generic things of why you were turned down, your credit score, or what have you. When they do that, you take that information and you can send it in, and you can get another free credit report by using that. So if this place only used Experian, then you can only get a free credit report from Experian. You can't get it from all 3. At the same time, if you dispute something on your credit report, if you dispute, before I go on to the dispute part, when you get that letter, you have 30 days, I believe, to call them or mail them or email them saying that you want a free credit report. So you got to take advantage of it in a timely manner. Then also, when I was going to move on to say about you going to, if you have another dispute with a credit bureau, whichever credit bureau it is, and you dispute something on your credit report, that also allows you the opportunity to get a free credit report as well. So you have those opportunities to get your free credit report, and you can get your free FICO score. It's very good to go ahead and monitor, of course, your credit score with a Credit Karma or a Quizzle or someone like that. But if you get that FICO score, you can watch it. Now, how often can you get that FICO score? That's really the question. And we know, or you should know, if you listen to the 800 Credit Score Man show, that your credit scores fluctuate. They fluctuate sometimes on a monthly basis. They can swing wildly. Someone contacted me about a month, 3 weeks ago, wondering why their credit score went down 100 points, and the next month it bounced back another 100 points. A 100-point swing is huge. I suggested to that person that they check their credit report, make sure nobody put a collection on there, they had a lien or some kind of judgment that was new come onto their credit report, as well as look at your inquiries. Your inquiries will tell you right away when somebody has looked at your credit. If somebody was trying to create some kind of fraud and this person went out and got a loan in your name or something of that nature, you'll know it right away by inquiry if you didn't authorize something on your credit report. So make sure that you do that. And we're going to talk about in the second portion of the show, we're going to talk about just that. We're going to talk about the fact that people need to find a place to monitor their own credit reports. We're going to talk about that in the next part of the show. So let me stop here right quick, and I want to give some shout outs. So I want to give a shout out, a happy birthday shout out to Virgil Harris. Virgil celebrated a birthday this week, so happy birthday to you, sir. I want to give a huge shout out to Shannon Hogan. Shannon Hogan celebrates a birthday today. Shannon is one of my fraternity brothers, so yo to you, Shannon, and happy birthday. I want to give a shout out to Thomas Conley. Thomas Conley out of Illinois celebrates a birthday today as well. I call him Two Guns. He doesn't know that, but now he does. So Tommy Two Guns celebrates a birthday today as well. So happy birthday to him as well. I have a couple more shout outs, birthday shout outs too, before we get out of here today. So I'm going to save them. And what are we going to do? We're going to jump to the question of the day today. So the question of the day comes from Wayne. Wayne is actually a part of the Credit Score Comeback Facebook group that we have, and I'm going to encourage you all to go to Credit Score Comeback and join that Facebook group. This is a question that came from there, and it's from Wayne. So Wayne is from Nampa,